is in there, hanging around with Shara, but being less awesome than Shara. And then he just up and fucks off somewhere, and that's all I've seen of him.
Yep. That's because you haven't finished the first game and you haven't played any of the second game.
Right, I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
And so, spoilers, because you actually don't find this out. You can guess this earlier, but you don't actually find out that he's an Erebonian prince until towards the end of the second game.
But you find out within 5 minutes of meeting him that he's a spy for Erebonia.
Right. Well, you know he's Erebonian because he tells you that he's Erebonian.
Right, and you know that he's a spy.
Sure.
Because he's obviously a fucking spy.
I have to admit, I was surprised to learn that you're the chairman of the board of directors, Your Highness.
The only thing that's
I'd heard
surprising
that the chairman was a
is
member
that
of
he's
the
not the
imperial
final
family,
boss.
but still.
What if he
Unless he is. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not surprised.
Because it is
Who would
worth pointing
expect
out,
the infamous
you
prodigal
never see
son to
Cassius
chair a
and
committee
Olivier
at a
in the
prestigious
same place
academy
at the
like
same time.
yours. I suppose it's not surprising they'd rather.
I'm
keep
just
it
assuming
hushed
that's
up,
true
though.
because you basically never see
Wouldn't exactly be
Cassius.
great for the school
You've only
image.
seen like half the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how much of Cassius do you see in that game?
That means at most we can only see a little bit around half. So,
Yeah.
There's also a whole second
Surprisingly
game.
Forthright coming from you.
yeah, but not when this game was made.
2 games?
Yes. Well before this game was made.
We are the number of games below 500 as the Indians are above 500.
Is it really
That's a
true,
completely different thing.
I know. I'm not here to
though? I mean,
just...
that
sheep
you
Wait,
were
there are
the one who
500
was
games in this
established
series?
Class 7, Your Highness?
Oh, you're not here to talk about the game that we're playing?
I am, but I can do more things. I'm a very multi-talented person.
Okay.
Indeed, I was.
Oh, hey, look, he's
You
trying
see,
to reform
it's always been a tradition that a member of the imperial
Erebonia's
family
educational
serves as chairman
programs to
of the
be more
board.
similar to liberals.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I wore the title in name only, but I had a change of heart after my vacation in Liberl 2 years ago.
Liberal.
You were in Liberl back
Liberal.
That would put your visit during the incident that occurred there.
Surely he was photographed by the newspaperman and his photographer, who were there
I
always.
contend that Dorothy may have missed taking pictures of him. Also, that might not be known to the general public of Erebonia.
Right.
You know,
All I've done
I
since
could
I returned
actually
to
believe
Erebonia has been
that
inspired
Misty
by
just
my
always
experience
had
during the
her
crisis in
thumb
Liberl.
over that part of the lens.
Dorothy, you mean?
Yes.
As a result,
Just straight up
fruitless
covering him
though
every
it may
time.
prove to be, I've set a number of plans in motion. One of which is to bring the winds
Oh,
of
like
change
that's not
to
ominous?
Thor's military academy. A gust of fresh air, if you will.
He is now Gaius' favorite person.
Of course.
Winds of change, huh?
I can only assume you're referring to our class?
Then the one who decided to throw both commoners and nobles into the same class was...
Yes.
I mean, at this point, there would be a real question of what the hell is he doing? Is he trying to take power?
Right.
Although the selected
Well,
students also
okay,
had to have
so,
a high aptitude with the artist units too.
People who have played Trails in the Sky second chapter know what he's doing. Erebonians don't.
Right, and it would be Erebonians who would be
Yeah.
I think I'm
concerned.
finally starting
Right.
to understand
Like,
the reasoning behind Class
Liberal probably doesn't care that much.
Actually, I think Liberal is totally okay with what he's doing.
7,
Yeah.
and why we're being sent all over Erebonia
But-
on these field studies.
You know, a couple years ago is in
To show us
an
firsthand
adjacent
and give us
country
cause to
in
consider
the
the
middle of a
conflict
coup
between the two
and
factions.
heavily involved in what goes on there.
Right.
Spoilers, there was a coup in Liberal 2 years ago, and that's what they're talking about.
That's actually not the incident they're talking about. The incident they're talking
It's
about...
sure the one...
No, the incident they're talking about is the end game of the second game, which is a much bigger deal than another country having a coup.
That is the purpose behind our
Another
field
country having a
studies.
coup is kind of a
Is
big
it
deal.
not, Your Highness?
What happened is a bigger deal. Play
Did they develop a
play the
magic
games. You're not actually that far off. Play the games.
That is one of the reasons, yes.
Nuke? They just figured out a combustion engine.
However, my foremost intention was to show you that during your lives,
I didn't say it was
you will
exactly
encounter
what you're
many
saying.
obstacles and conflicts,
It's always what I'm saying.
not just between factions,
That-
but between the
that's
capital
kind
and
of
the
weird, Olivier.
provinces, tradition and technology, even between nations. In these turbulent times,
Okay, that is him
on top of
straight up
this,
saying he's
would
gonna
provide
start a
the
fucking
hands-on
war.
education today's promising youths need. We need up-and-comers who can think and act independently to face tomorrow's challenges head-on.
That makes sense.
And yeah, I forget, who was it in the thread who had said that
Wow, that's
very
quite a
obviously
plan.
they're trying to rebuild a Bracer Guild in Erebania?
That was one of the people who has not actually played this game.
Right, I know. And he is completely correct.
I can't help but feel a little unsure whether we can live up to
I
such
think there
high
is no doubt at
expectations.
this point that that's what Olivier is trying to do.
To be fair, to be perfectly accurate, the Bracer Guild does still exist in Erebony. It's just not nearly as powerful as it is in Liberal.
Hearing your
It's
explanation
basically
has,
that.
at the very least, cleared up many of the doubts I've had up to this point.
Class 7 does seem like an ideal environment to expand one's outlook on life.
I feel like going through
I'm
everything we have
kind
so
of curious
far
about
has brought us
what
closer
doubts
to doing
Laura
exactly
had
that.
and how that explanation
I
helped
don't
explain
know.
them.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that one read like meaningless platitude.
Marvelous.
Probably. He is
I'm
the
so pleased
prince.
to hear it.
A prince.
Just listening to you makes
I
me
don't know if I
feel
like
even
him or
more
not.
certain that establishing Class 7 was the right decision.
Well, right now he's acting all rich and princey.
Yeah.
Especially since
So
while
that
the
is-
idea itself
When
is
you
fine,
see him
I
in
have
Trails
no
in
real
the
say in how
Sky,
the classes
he
run
acts
day to
rich
day.
and poncy.
Right.
It's different.
Even so, I still hope to meet all of you at least once, if only to tell you all this. And that was when Alfred
He's far
stepped
more
in and
serious
offered to
right
set
now
up
than he
this
was
little
ever
meeting.
was in Trails in the Sky.
Okay.
I see.
Also,
Like that
better
bit
dressed.
that bit where he came in the traveling cloak with the loot. That's basically all of his appearances in Trails in the Sky.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I could hardly refuse
And they were about
such a
that random.
sincere
Yeah.
request from my brother. But it also presented me a fine chance to finally meet Elise's beloved brother, as I've always wanted to. Your Highness.
What? That's a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
It's getting close
Thank
to
you for
the
taking the
edge.
time to
Yeah.
tell us all
Especially
this,
given
Your
her earlier
Highness.
behavior.
Well, yes.
I feel like now that I know, I want to live up to the promise you saw in Class 7. Thing is, am I right in assuming that Class 7 doesn't exist just to fulfill your progressive ideal?
What do you...
Oh?
It also exists to give me contact with a bunch of people who are skilled at fighty things.
The board has its
But
chairman,
we're
of
also
course,
indebted
but
to
3
me.
directors besides. My older brother Rufus, Imperial Governor Karl Regnitz, and Irina Reinford of the Reinford Group.
Oh, yeah.
Why those three, though?
Because they're related to people in Class 7.
That you mention it.
I
Like-
assume.
I get that's why they...
They do seem to have
Pick two
certain
for this story.
expectations for us.
But... why would they
Precisely.
have those three people as chairs of Thor's military academy?
As I mentioned, I no longer have anything to do with how Class 7 is run. That authority lies with the directors. As you're keenly aware, Rufus and Governor Regnitz sit on opposite sides of the factional divide. And while Chairman Irina is mostly involved with Class 7's technology, like the Arcus, her intentions are a mystery to me. And it's those three who decide where you'll travel for your field studies.
Is that right?
Does that answer your question?
When you put it that way, It does
Not
make
really.
it seem like
Okay.
some kind of bargaining is taking place behind the scenes.
It was one of the conditions they gave in exchange for allowing Class 7 to be established. I'll admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country.
So what he's
Well, I
saying is there's
suppose when
going to
I
be a
put it that
fucking
way,
war.
it sounds positively heroic. But that's just me. Don't feel too pressured by it. Your students, first and foremost. Reach out and grab that fragrant rose of school life. Join a club. Eat cheap food with your friends at
That-
midnight.
That
Fall
is a
in
way
love.
I've never heard
We live but once. Make your youth
school life
count.
described.
You know, it's weird, but hearing you say that kind of takes a load off my mind.
That is
By the
weird
way,
because nobody
just
else had
earlier
that
you
reaction.
said that we believed the Class 7 would be a great light. Is there someone else involved with Thor's who shares your vision for our class, Your Highness?
There is. Principal Van Dyke.
It's Estelle.
Wait, what does Estelle have to do with Thor's?
She's
I
an
once
instructor
attended
there.
Thor's myself.
That would
and studied
actually
under
be fantastic.
Wouldn't it though?
But she's not Erebonian, so probably not.
So
him. He gave my proposal to establish Class 7 his full backing.
you don't need to have a instructor
see.
be from that country.
That's true.
He's been particularly considerate toward us ever since we arrived at the academy.
Like, it was fairly common for that not to be the case, because it's how knowledge gets transferred.
While he has no direct control over the running of the academy, he
And
does
certainly
preside over
tutors
the
were
board
very
meetings.
rarely local.
Sure. I think she's going to be too busy beating things up in Crossbell to be an instructor.
And above all, he's the one who assembled an excellent team to give you
That's what
first-rate
Skype
training.
is for.
Okay.
An excellent team, you say?
Are
Like
you
Sarah.
referring to Instructor Sarah?
It's only Sarah.
Yeah.
It's only Sarah. That's the only person who's in charge of
She's
that.
certainly one of them.
I mean, we have classes with other, professors.
Still, coaxing her away from her former line of work certainly played a large part in giving Class 7 a great foundation. She is, after all, one of the strongest people in the Empire.
Is this where
Her
we learned that,
experience makes her a natural field leader.
Wait,
are
what?
we supposed to be surprised that Sarah's badass?
Instructor Sarah?
Oh.
One of the strongest
Apparently
people in
she's badass.
Erebonia?
I mean, she did kick our asses.
A little
Exactly
bit.
what experience
bit.
might you be referring to?
I've even heard rumors of her daring
She can drink
exploits
Olivier
myself.
under the table.
I want to see that happen. Holy
You mean
crap.
it doesn't?
I did not know how much I needed to see that happen.
It doesn't happen in this game?
I don't know.
She was
Well,
known as
apparently
the
you
Purple
do.
Lightning.
And now
Doesn't
I'm
that sound
disappointed.
exciting?
Wait. Purple Lightning?
I knew it.
If you two have heard of it, it must be a household name among martial artists.
Kinda.
That's right. Though I've just heard it in
I
passing.
mean, that's almost the definition of an observation. Like,
Ah,
the
that
two
young
people
ace
from
of the Erebonian
martial arts houses
Bracer
know it.
Guild, and one
That
of the
must be a
Empire's
name
most
that
famous
martial arts
bracers.
house.
She has a history full of brave
It's called
feats and
active
dangerous
listening.
deeds. She
You
was
hear
even
what
the
they
youngest
say,
person to
you say
achieve
it back.
A rank status.
Restate it on your own words.
Yeah.
And then you restate it to make sure that you correctly interpreted what it was
So-
they were trying to say in the first place.
So this canonically confirms that either Estelle is not rank A, or she didn't make it until she was, much older than 16.
Back then, she was
Or-
known as the Purple Lightning.
It says was.
Now, you know her simply
Sure.
as your homeroom teacher.
And the Purple Lightning.
All it is saying is that at the time, it was the case. But that does not in any real way imply that
I like the delete save data option.
The
Why would
record
you
hasn't
possibly
been
need that there?
I've deleted saves.
From there?
Not from there specifically.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
It's just the save menu. They didn't make a different save option for every time you were given the option to save, you were also given the option to delete.
Alright, I guess. It's just weird.
Just make sure not to get them mixed up.
Can you delete your only file there and then have it crash?
Well, no, because you would continue.
Okay.
You don't have to save.
Can you do this entire game without saving?
Obviously.
You can't. I mean, it's theoretically possible. It's highly unlikely, but it's possible.
Like, there's no mechanic in pretty much any game that requires you to save.
Right.
Except for Kingdom Hearts.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to go into the save menu to continue. Early on.
During the training or whatever it is.
Twilight Town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or Traverse Town, whichever one it was.
Traverse Town.
Reverse.
Is that Elise wearing her night clothes?
No.
It's her non-uniform casual clothes, yeah.
Without her
jacket. Okay, from the back it looked more like
a gown.
It's a dress.
Gown.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Can you, though? Can you really?
No, he can't.
But he can always lie.
The blonde looks pissed.
Actually, I think she has a little smile on her face.
No, she looks pissed.
Yes, she does. And yes, that entire pause was me slowly moving closer to the screen and then peering. Turns out that works better in person.
She's actually Machiavellian. No.
No, it's even worse. She's gone sepia.
Why is this part not voice acted?
Because...
No, because this is taking place after the fact and it's sort of like shoehorned in. It was, oh wait, we just recorded this one scene. Ah, shit, we needed to add a bit. Get all the actors back quick.
I remember this.
That's how it works, right?
Sure.
I remember this scene.
Okay.
It caused quite the stir.
It did. I hope you're enjoying contributing to this LP from the
underwater
inside of a tunnel or whatever.
Me?
Yes.
I sound
Something
like
happened.
I sound like I'm underwater?
You did.
You did for a bit.
You sound better now.
Oh.
I get it. It's a dance. And she's saying she doesn't want to waltz around the matter. These are the yucks you have to laugh at.
I don't know. I think Foxtrot
She's
would
the
have been
princess.
Better. Although waltz is a circular
right, exactly. She's not
dance. So.
Right, she's the princess, so even though she didn't do the joke right, you still have to laugh.
Of course.
So, I gotta ask: is that the punctuation in Reen's text box? Is that the Tim the Home Improvement sound?
No.
Okay.
The Scooby-Doo sound too. They're the same.
And what does that sound like?
Oh.
A gasp.
Tim Allen was famous for saying like that voice that he kind of makes is basically supposed to be him. It's him doing
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's aware of that, Elisa.
Yeah. And man, we got into this.
That
last
is an
time
excellent way to read that. I am sure that is fully on the realm of tabloid speculation. I like the term tabloid speculation.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah. But yeah, like who?
I just realized the heaving chests.
Yeah, they're
Like,
breathing.
Well, but I mean, like
They're breathing pretty hard.
this is
That's
like
true.
they are sitting down. The labor intensity factor should not be this high. Like he
It's
literally
even
has
funnier.
his tie undone mostly. Like is he going into like is he allergic to something? Like
It's even funnier because the game has a
No,
fast
they-
forward function. If you hold
Oh,
the cancel
God.
button, it fast forwards through the scene, and if you watch them breathing in a fast forward, it's hilarious.
it's just.
You know you need to show this off now.
I will show it off.
Chest.
Well, yeah.
I'm assuming
Look at
that
her.
the breathing
What?
is fast forward.
That corset is too tight.
No, it's not tight enough.
Yeah, she can
If
still
it-
breathe.
If the corset was
She
tight,
wouldn't be able to breathe at all.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
pretty much.
That's why she and Elise are friends.
Okay, so they're like the.
In that case, how the hell have they not met?
I don't know.
There's holes in her story.
Yeah!
Yeah, Eustace dancing with her would probably be a bigger deal. In both ways.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they look like brothers.
That's also that's probably actually okay in Erebonia.
Also, they probably are,
Related.
second
Distantly
cousins
related?
or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, not distantly.
Reen, I'm not trying to help.
That's not.
But yeah, if Eustace had the first dance with the
Yeah.
princess, that would be
Alright.
of great interest to the other three
Houses,
major
yeah.
noble
So
houses.
I gotta say, since we're getting to the end of where I remember recording.
You gotta go?
We haven't seen the dance. What? No, I'm saying over or under on something happening at this dance that involves a kidnap. Or
Do I get to bet?
No, you know.
No.
Because I'm wondering if it's
You never
either
get
going
to
to
bet.
be an assassination attempt or success, or a kidnap.
It's not going to be a successful assassination.
Well, I'm wondering if it is, because we know that there's someone trying to create war, and the easiest way to do that is an assassination.
Well, obviously.
I mean, I know
But-
this is kind of kids' version of violence, but I mean, they have killed no-names.
There's a difference between killing a no-name and killing off a character right after we sat down to do
Oh, I'm
it.
not saying they're going to kill the princess.
Then who else would they
I
kill?
don't know, the middle management noble who's actually wanting to start war, so he fakes an assassination on his life, and then he comes back halfway through with a sword that makes him like one of the hardest bosses in the game, even though it's just a sword.
Okay, what game are you getting this from?
I'm not getting this from any game. I'm just saying
That was too specific.
Yeah, that was pretty damn specific.
Fine, maybe we played that game where that dude had that one sword, and we had to cut off the bridges to stop his reinforcements.
Oh, you're talking
Okay.
about Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's completely the wrong game. You're in the right series, but Tales of Vesperia is Trails in the Sky.
Yeah.
This one is probably...
Is this more like Zestria? I haven't played Zestria.
I played a little bit of Zestria, and then I stopped, and then I never really cared to start doing it again.
Oh,
I'm
that is
gonna
that is Dirty Pool.
Yeah. Especially since there's basically no way you can answer that question.
There's no right answer here. Anything that Reen says is going to get him killed by
trouble?
somebody. Yeah. No matter what he says, Elise is going to get pissed. Elisa is probably going to get pissed.
Yeah, probably.
And, I mean, the other three girls are probably also going to be like, oh, that's an interesting question. I'm very interested to hear what you're going to say, Irene.
That is not true at all.
That's actually fair.
Fee would only care to mess with him.
Yeah.
And I really doubt that Emma would care at all.
Yeah. There is no good answer here.
Start coughing and, say you're sick.
Fake a heart attack?
Look at Eustace. Look at
Actually
them.
have a heart
This is
attack.
not healthy breathing.
Look at Laura and Fee.
Yes, no, their lungs are in a very different spot.
Okay.
Also, apparently they are breathing at exactly the same time.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have linked now,
Kinda
so
creepy.
their hearts have probably
They're linked.
aligned. That's possibly even worse.
I mean, she has to pick to dance with someone.
Right.
And basically, it's a way of saying that that person has her favor.
Right.
And you really... So it is an important political tool. And it does make sense to pick Reen, given that apparently
she's
their
not
families have been close
super
friends that she's
pissed.
never met.
No. She's breathing. She has very large breasts.
Thank you for noticing.
Well, I mean, it's just...
It's
weird. Like...
It's Japan.
They look like torpedoes.
Also, I had originally misheard that as very large breaths.
Well,
the
she
PG
does have
version.
those also.
That's the
Yeah.
PG version.
Yeah.
Nah, I doubt it.
Okay.
So he did say no.
Well, no, she said, okay, don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
She rescinded the invite. I mean,
Is
that
this
was
gonna
definitely...
end with all of them ending up going to the dance?
Well, I mean, they almost certainly are all going
No
to the
comment.
dance,
That means yes.
obviously.
No, it means no comment.
No, that means yes.
It means no
You don't
comment.
use no you don't do enough preparation for your no comments for it to not mean yes.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because we know you.
Because I know how you use no comment. Like, if your responses are no or no comment, it means no and yes.
Well, that's not very fair.
There's a reason that people who say no comment to things also say no comment when they want to say no, it's not true. Because if they don't say no comment to no, it's not true...
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not say either way. Because either way is a spoiler.
Yeah, but it's too late. You've broken kayfabe.
Okay.
We know what you really think. You really want Emma to get it on with Eustace.
That came out of nowhere.
I'm just channeling you.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm just making shit up while pretending to channel you, but honestly,
Yes.
that's good enough.
I mean, we all know that Reen is our harem protagonist. Not Eustace.
Maybe Reen is just the obvious harem protagonist. So Eustace can sneak up from... I'm gonna stop that sentence right there.
Yeah, that's not going to go into a good location.
No, it was not. Every single word, it was just getting exponentially worse and worse. And yeah, it's not like Fee hasn't had a shitty life. She was some sort of child soldier.
She was a Jaeger.
Right, exactly. Some sort of child soldier. I forget how much into her past we've gotten.
We saw the big part where she and Laura, where she described her history
Talked about
to
it.
Laura Fee or Laura Laura, Machias, and Reen. There we go.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking that happened, right here, and then we saved, and then realized you had lost the recording.
Nope.
Okay.
Yay, Sarah!
Hooray!
Does it? Knowing that you're a badass bracer is actually kind of cool.
Well, it makes people wonder why she isn't acting competent when she really is.
Also, yeah, the breathing is more pronounced on her.
Well, she also has her arms going back and forth.
That's true.
Makes it even easier to notice.
Hi, Claire.
Oh, yeah, she's just hanging around doing railroad things. Oh my god, they're going to demolish, whichever academy this is, like Saint
Astraea.
Saint Astraea, okay. They're going to demolish Saint Astraea Academy to put in the new rail line.
I love it.
So what they need to do is they need to build another fake Saint Astraea a mile away.
Right.
And convince everyone to burn that one down instead of the real one.
Right.
That is such a good movie.
Wait, what movie?
Blazing Saddles?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I've actually seen the entirety of Blazing Saddles.
You haven't seen full of Blazing Saddles?
No.
Well, I know what we're doing after this.
Today?
Yes.
Okay. But I'm going over to Globes to play board games, I think.
Yep. But that's...
Are you going to have Blazing Saddles on?
We can. It's on Netflix.
Done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, totally going to be bad guys at the party.
We're going back to the train station.